This video is on unit conversion. So at first you can see our little key over here to the right with some things that we need to know. So what this key says is there's 12 inches in a foot, which hopefully is something you already know. 1,000 milliliters in a liter. That one you might not know. And so you need to remember that milli equals 1,000. Okay. 3,600 seconds in an hour. Again, you might not know that, but I think you could probably figure it out, right? In that if you know that there's 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour, all I did there is multiplied 60 times 60 to get 3,600 seconds in an hour. But either way, it's nice to know because it's going to come up in a question here in a second. 100 centimeters in a meter. That's also one you probably need to memorize. Centi equals 100. Okay, centi is 100. Milli is 1,000. Those are two you got to know. And then there's 16 ounces in a pound. Also probably one that you just got to memorize, right? So if you think there's 12 ounces in a pound or 10 or some other number, then these questions will be hard. So there are a few things you got to memorize before you get started, but it's not tough memorization, right? You got milli, centi, and 16 ounces in a pound. Okay. Unit conversion. All right, so where'd my pen go? Here we go. Okay, so for our first question, we're having a party, and we've got 5.7 liters of some drink. Okay, and 3 liters actually get drank, right? So we got we start with 5.7 liters, and we drink 3. So 5.7 minus 3 would mean we have 2.7 liters left, right? But that is never going to be the question. The question is always going to be how many milliliters are left, okay? And you remember that there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter, right? And so we just substitute that 1,000 and 2.7 times 1,000 is 2,700. Okay, so we have 2,700 milliliters left, and that's going to be the answer they're looking for. Okay, so that's your first question. Okay, question 2. How many seconds are there in one day? Okay, so we know there's, from our little key over here, we know we have 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, right? And how many hours are there in a day? 24. So when we multiply these together, 3,600 times 24, we get 86,400. And that's going to be how many seconds there are in one day. Okay. Okay, now on the next one, we have a 100-meter race. They want to know how many centimeters is that. Okay, and remember, right, you go back to the key with these things that hopefully we'll memorize, and we have 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. Okay, and this is 100 meters, right? So we're going to need to multiply these together. Okay. 100 times 100 is 10,000, and so there are 10,000 centimeters in 100 meters. Okay, so you just take your time with it, right? And you think, okay, like if the way I multiply that out doesn't instantly make sense to you, then you just kind of take it step by step. Be like, okay, so there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Okay, so then how many centimeters are there in 2 meters? Like 200, right? And then keep going up. How many in 5 meters? 500. Okay, how many in 10 meters? 1,000. Okay, and just kind of keep working your way up like that. You can just sort of think it through that way to make sure that 10,000 makes sense and you didn't accidentally multiply something together that you weren't supposed to. So a lot of times just using some math logic can help. Okay, so in our last one, We have a baby weighs 144 ounces. 144 ounces. Okay, and then they want to know how many pounds and how many ounces is this. Okay, so usually when a little kid's born, they don't say, they say it weighs 7 pounds, 8 ounces, or something like that. They don't just say just ounces. Okay, so we know that there's 16 ounces equals 1 pound, right? So we take our 144, we just divide it by 16. Okay, and that ends up equaling exactly 9. So your answer is going to be 9 pounds, 0 ounces. 9 pounds even. Okay, and so that's how you go about doing that. Again, if the math part throws you here, is if you can use just some math reasoning, which sometimes is easier if you're not used to looking at problems like this. Is okay, so as long as you know that 16 ounces is a pound, then you think, okay, so you can just keep going, right? 16 ounces is 1 pound, 16 times 2 is 32, 32 ounces is 2 pounds, and you can just keep going up like that if you want. Now, if you just divide it by 16 to come to 9, you'll get your answer a lot sooner, right? But either way, you'll get the right answer, which is all that really matters, right? So that is some of the most common type of questions that you will see for unit conversion. And again, want to get used to milli is 1,000, centi means 100, and 16 ounces in a pound. If you know all that stuff, you should be good to go.